TIFU by realizing I wasn't washing my hair right for 20 plus years. Okay, so warning, this is very much gross. Over the past several weeks I have been feeling these weird skin-like but not fully attached lumps on my head. I've been scratching and picking them off fully, or so I thought, and didn't give it a second thought. Well, today my boyfriend takes a good look at my scalp in one of those spots that I was scratching because he was curious as to what I was doing. Apparently I was really going at it without noticing. He practically gasped and asked me if I had hit my head, or if it hurt. I was stunned for a moment. It only felt like a little dry skin, and then began my panic-induced examination. As it turns out, my entire scalp is covered in ranges of flaky to thick lumps of dandruff. And because I have a lot of hair, it isn't noticeable on the outside unless you start going through layer by layer. I obsessively begin to scratch and scrape my entire scalp to the point where it's now in pain. There's flakes and chunks entangled throughout my hair. I am freaking out. I start googling, thinking I must be dying, all my hair is about to fall out, etc. Yeah, no, apparently you are supposed to scrub your scalp when you shampoo. I never knew this. Also I immediately put my wet hair in a bun or braid every time I washed it so it didn't dry for literally 24 hours and caused more dry skin buildup. I really hope that after years, plus scraping for hours today, I haven't really fucked my scalp up. TLDR, I haven't scrubbed my scalp for 20 years because I didn't know you had to. I have been scraping chunks of dry skin off my scalp for the past few hours. I feel disgusting. Edit. Firstly I'd like to say thank you to everyone for your advice and kind replies. I also wanted to answer a few of the common questions I saw. 1. How did you not notice this for so long? I don't think it was this bad my entire life. As I've said, I've only seen flakes sometimes. It got like this sometime recently. I don't particularly make note of checking my scalp on a periodic basis. Also, if you haven't already noticed by my username, I have ADHD. Out of sight, out of mind. I don't even intend to be gross, but like many others with ADHD we can struggle with habit, routines, etc. 2. Why did you not just go to a doctor? I'm in America and healthcare costs are high. I can't afford to go see one at this time even with insurance. 3. Where did you put shampoo then? I put it on my head, obviously, and throughout all my hair. I think since my hair is so thick that when lathering the shampoo in, I may not have been really getting it onto my scalp enough. I've made note of the shampooing twice to help with that though, so thanks to those who said that. 4. Did your parents not teach you XYZ? Apparently not. Not everyone has good parents. I definitely did not. I've had to figure out many things throughout life on my own. Most replies were very positive, helpful though. Thank you. I will be getting a new shampoo as I've been using a very cheap brand. Hopefully that helps.
And no one ever saw your scalp in the past 20 years, or bothered to mention it.
Comb them out, but stop scratching your scalp. That's going to keep making it worse.
I've gone to my hairdresser about once a year and she has never said a single thing about noticed flakes falling out of my hair before many times over the years. But I never thought anything serious of it. I'm not sure why my hairdresser never mentioned it.
Wash your scalp. Condition your hair.
Go see a dermatologist. That doesn't sound like a pure hygiene issue.
Could also be psoriasis of the scalp. You can get special shampoo for it. Should clear it up.
TBH, it sounds more like you could have developed psoriasis or something on your scalp. I don't scrub my scalp when I shampoo my hair. Sure, I get the shampoo to the roots, but I'm not actively trying to exfoliate my head, and I don't have this issue. You should see someone about it.
Sounds like psoriasis on your scalp. The flakes are thick and oily. A dermatologist can prescribe something for it.
To expand the opposite side of the shampoo is actually damaging for your hair and dries it out, but it gets the oils, and the dirt stuck in those oils, and dead skin cells out. The oils that come from your skin, scalp. The -- shampoo -- conditioner is what rehydrates the hair to keep it soft. Your skin, scalp will naturally secrete more oils to rehydrate. This is why people with short hair can get away with 2-in-1 products, but people with long hair need to separate the two.
Yes, was about to say this. My ex-wife has the same thing. Go see a dermatologist. I never scrub my scalp and don't have this problem.
If you're not drying your hair and trapping moisture, it could be a fungal infection. You need to see a pharmacist as they will advise whether it warrants a doctor's trip. They are also trained to recognize certain skin conditions and can recommend over-the-counter treatment. There are antifungal shampoos that you can get that contain ketoconazole. It could also be psoriasis, but I'd bet it's something fungal due to the moisture getting trapped. It's pretty easy to treat fungal infections too, whereas psoriasis is much more difficult.
To add to what you were saying about shampoo, I have ridiculously dry hair, so even though I've got short hair I can only wash once a week but have to condition daily. It took me almost 40 years to figure this out, and until then I had such dry hair that my scalp hurt and I couldn't even wear hats.
Use your fingertips and not your nails when you scrub your scalp. Little abrasions are bad for dandruff.
You should try using a scalp brush when you shampoo. It's done wonders for me.
Maybe seborrheic dermatitis, since the oily part is a bit unusual for psoriasis. Some unlucky people even have both. But yeah, a dermatologist needs to look at that.
Same is happening over my face, particularly at bearded area. Any advice? And yay, my face skin is oily. Edit. Thanks for the overwhelming responses. Might need to add that asterisk, it's not psoriasis, it's seborrheic dermatitis asterisk IK, because I don't have any red patches nor my skin flares up. As of now, it's just those dry flakes that come up over my beard, scalp, chest and behind the ear.
Nobody ever taught my older stepson about hair care. Grandma would buy him presents and play with him for hours, but never taught him to comb his hair. After I married into the family, I found out his dad just shaved him bald every other year and got disgusted by the giant flakes of scalp on his head, but didn't teach him anything either. He made it all the way to high school like that. So I snuck up behind him while he was playing cards with his father, knowing they'd be at it for hours, said, "Oh, don't mind me," and then carefully picked out his hair. It was matted up like clumpy dog fur, with those big flaky scalp patches at the base. Taught him the basics of hair care, and he made sure it was never necessary for me to do that ever again. At least you've been otherwise tending your hair. That poor kid didn't even use a brush or comb. Before I taught him how, had just spent his whole childhood feeling like an itchy, neglected dog and not knowing that was wrong until I fixed it.
Go see a dermatologist. I got some in my eyebrows, ears and around my nose. My dermatologist prescribed me some creams to apply.
I'm sorry, but are you still with that man? It sounds so.
Oh, no worries, I tossed him out last year. I miss my stepkids so much, but I know they'll be okay. I taught them enough that they should be able to teach themselves and each other, and then they got one final lesson in, treat people like Dad does and they'll. Last I heard, the kids are living with Grandma again and their dad is living in a shed in Grandma's yard.
I had this same problem on my scalp, beard, eyebrows, sides of the nose, etc. I use Nizoral antifungal shampoo on my whole head. It seems to have solved the issue. I haven't seen any flaking since I started using it 6 weeks ago.
The wet hair bundled up part screams fungal infection.
I also suggest seeing a healthcare provider for a swab scraping to rule out a fungal developed seborrheic dermatitis on my scalp due to allergies to ingredients in shampoo and conditioner, and then this became infected with a fungal, was also flaky, lumpy, sore and up very quickly with an antifungal shampoo, plus removing exposure to allergens.
This probably isn't poor hygiene. I'm a male, but I've had exactly what you've described all my life. Short or long hair, it didn't as you described it, tons of dandruff and massive lumps of dry skin that peeled off my head. My scalp was covered in sores because of this, and I had tried so many different dandruff shampoos, some prescribed to me, some over-the-counter medicinal, and basic head and shoulders. None of them worked and some even made it worse. Eventually a doctor prescribed it as dermatitis of the scalp, and I got prescribed that steroid solution to put on my scalp, and I literally don't even have dandruff anymore. It's changed my hair care life. Sorry for the wall of text, but this was something that affected me for a long time and I'd never seen anyone else describe something similar to it.
Psoriasis is caused through problems with immune system, doesn't occur through cleanliness.
Might as well wait and see if a change to their routine helps first. It's been years already, a few weeks won't hurt. If they do have super thick hair, it can be difficult to loosen all the natural dead skin cells you lose and wash away, so a buildup of that won't go away overnight. If they tell the dermatologist that they haven't been scrubbing their scalp for years, then they'll probably be sent home and told to use an over-the-counter dandruff shampoo and come back in a month or two. Maybe advised to get a scalp brush to help loosen it doesn't go away or show improvement in 2 to 3 weeks. Then see a dermatologist. I would expect some increased sensitivity for a couple weeks as well.
I have psoriasis, which is now severe due to recent stress.
Early high school was rough with people saying I wasn't taking care of myself with having dandruff and all that.
SD here. Try looking up seborrheic dermatitis and see if it applies to you if the issue persists.
Sorry, off topic, but where do you live that you can talk to a pharmacist about medical issues? If I walked into a pharmacy where I lived and asked them to look at my scalp, well, they wouldn't do it.
The UK. It's actually advised to go to a pharmacist first as it saves unnecessary GP appointments which clog the system up. It's also quicker for things that are minor issues, and if it's more serious they advise accordingly. All pharmacies have consultation rooms to the side so you can speak to the pharmacist in private. They can't prescribe medication but can recommend over-the-counter medication to buy.
That's such a wild concept to me. All pharmacists do here is have an attitude and treat you like a criminal, when you need to refill a prescription. That's it.
I've had this since I was a kid. I switch between Polytar or the Neutrogena brand with coal tar and Denerex, and it really helps. I also bought these rubber, silicone spiky things to wash my hair with because they softly scrub my scalp. It also happens to my face when I grow my stubble, beard out, but I use this hella expensive Peter Thomas Roth anti-aging face wash and my face skin has never been smoother and no dry flakies since I started using that too.
Parents never taught their kids basic hygiene.
Those things are a game changer. They feel so good too. Also, if anyone reads this, I get built up like this as well. It was a fungus for me and I was recommended a shampoo and conditioner that has tea tree oil in it. I got Head and Shoulders 2-in-1 with tea tree oil. Works like a charm.
Lol. I love the nonchalant way you said oh no worries, I tossed him out last. The mental imagery was gold. Like you threw out a pair of shoes that were pinching your toes.